want your business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Drastic Franchise Connector Show. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I work with Zors to teach their Zs networking so that they can turn their contacts into contracts. I'm also a franchisee with Network in Action, where we bring business owners together to build connections, community, collaborations, get some coaching so they can make more cash together. I'm the executive director and visionary for Multicultural Franchise Connectors. And last but not least, I just announced on LinkedIn, I am a certified franchise consultant with Drastic Franchise Matchmakers. So I'm all about making connections for my audience to franchising. Welcome to today's show. Today, I often talk about showing up, but I'm going to talk about the power of showing up and being intentional. So I showed up through a invitation that I got from the MFV Expos. MFV Expos runs expos across the country. Shout out to Linda Thompson and Martin with MFV. They invited me to become a speaker. And I went to the New York Expo, and at that expo, ironically, I had just presented his brand to a candidate. I met my guest, Max Emma. I did not know Max was going to be there, and the timing was perfect. We had a sit-down conversation about his brand, but more importantly, we just got to know each other to build the relationship. So it often surprises me, but I don't know why, because I teach this stuff, I live this stuff, how I could be talking about something or someone, in his case, his brand, BooXkeeping, and then they show up in my life within days. It happens to me all the time. And if you're a true networker, you'll start to find that it happens with you. The power of showing up. Wow. So you're going to hear from Max today, and we're going to learn his story, how he started his business, and then how he got it to franchising. And I bet you there's some nuggets in there about showing up. We'll be right back with my guest, Max Emma of BooXkeeping. All right, we are back with my guest, Mr. Max Emma of BooXkeeping Franchise. Welcome, sir.
Hi, Tony. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I told the story at the beginning how we met, but I want, in your own words, can you say who you are and what you do?
So, as you said, my name is Max Emma, and I run a company called BooXkeeping. It's actually two companies. One, we provide bookkeeping services to small, medium-sized businesses, and mostly we provide bookkeeping services to other franchise brands. Currently, BooXkeeping is the preferred bookkeeping provider for over 110 franchise brands in the US. Fast Sign, Signorama, Sport Clips, you name it, and a lot of emerging brands. And that led me into becoming a franchisor. And now my second company is BooXkeeping Franchise, selling our own bookkeeping franchises in the United States.
Okay, so let's go back. You were a supplier first. You were a supplier to franchises, and then you decide to franchise yourself. Talk to me about the drastic mindset it took for you to go from supplier to franchisor.
So I got to become a supplier by accident. Somebody introduced me to a franchisor, and we started doing bookkeeping for his franchisees. And then more and more introductions came, and we started getting involved with IFA, the International Franchise Association. And we got second franchise brand, third. And before I knew, we started getting them on the regular basis. And I had an opportunity to hang out with other franchisors, and I absolutely loved being in the room with these people. Everybody's helping everybody. People are friendly. I'm s- telling this example all the time, but I personally stopped by in the hallway and stop a CEO of one of the largest franchisors in the world, and the guy stopped, talked to me, and answer any questions I had. I said, "Hey, I'm an emerging franchisor. You have 4,000 units. I have two." But he talked to me, and at the end, he gave me his cell phone number and said, "Hey, if you have any questions, just connect with me anytime." I mean, I haven't seen any other industries where people would be open like that. I personally have seen CEOs of two large competing brands, each with over 3,000 units, talking at the bar at one of the IFA events, just discussing business, uh, what they learned, how to do it. That was so awesome. They're competing for the same talent, same franchisees, but yet they're friends because they believe then that there is enough business for everybody. So I absolutely love being in the room with these people. And I told myself when I grow up, I want to be like one of them. And I guess I did grow up and I opened my own franchise.
Wow, I agree with you. When I entered franchising, I too was like, wow, these people are like family. I was definitely an outsider. And since coming into franchising, networking and franchising 3 years ago, I have so many people I consider family. And they are just a giving community, have a heart for our success overall, because I think within franchising, when one wins, we all win. And I love that about franchising. But say more about you and your heart behind your brand. Beyond, of course, we all are here to make money. But what is your why and your purpose for your brand?
So my why in both running bookkeeping and bookkeeping franchise is actually give people the time back, because when we do bookkeeping, um, anybody can learn how to do bookkeeping. Look, QuickBooks is designed for non-accountants, but there is always an opportunity cost. What can you do with your time? Let's say it takes us 3 hours to work on somebody's bookkeeping. Would take somebody who is not an accountant 5 to 6 hours. I always ask a question: what can you do with this time? Can you spend it with your family? Can you just sleep? Can you travel? Or maybe get on the phone. How many calls can you make to potential clients in 5 minutes? How many clients you can get out of that? What you're paying for bookkeeping will be a fraction of time. Uh, I believe you're not going to be successful if you're trying to do it yourself. I am getting better and better in delegating. It was hard for me because deep in my heart, I'm a micromanager. So it took me a while to learn how to do it. So my passion and my why is to give people their time back and also give my franchisees an opportunity to be successful and get to become a free person, a freedom of time, freedom of purpose, freedom of time, of money, sorry, freedom of relationship. These are the four freedoms that I always teach my franchisees and our clients for that matter. So, yes, making money would be great, but money is not the goal. This is just an attribute that you will get if you do the right thing and you do it right. Just give it some time.
So bookkeeping and numbers are typically, I do marketing, you do numbers. Both of those things people don't love, right? The business owners don't really love to do the numbers. Part of it, because I know myself, sometimes it's a mirror to say, oh, you're not doing enough, right? And people don't want to see that part. But it is so important to a franchise brand to get their franchisees to do the numbers, because now that I'm digging into FDDs, when the numbers aren't there, my candidates are like, yeah, next, right? So making sure that franchisees have their numbers so they can roll it up to the franchisor so the franchisor can make more money, correct?
Absolutely. And look, another thing that is super important is that when we do the bookkeeping, it's uniform. It's the same chart of accounts, it's the same format. So when somebody is working on item 19 at the end of the year, someone meaning franchisor, 100 financial statements from 100 franchisees look exactly the same. Because if it's done by different bookkeepers, then it's a combination of different softwares, combinations of different formats, and then somebody has to manually go and find each number and put it in the right bucket. It takes long, long, long time. So it's actually we're saving time to the franchisor by providing a needed services for their franchisee so they can concentrate on growing the business. So the way I look at it, everybody wins.
Awesome. So, what makes a good fit franchisee for books keeping? What's your ideal
So
franchisee look like?
so culture is huge for us. When we interview potential candidates, they really think that they're shopping around. Well, we are shopping around as well. We've said more no's that we said yeses. Because look, our hashtag is cool bin counters. Culture is really, really big for us. So if I see somebody who's coming in and potentially can damage this culture, this spirit among the bookkeeping family, I'm just not going to take my chances. Okay. Yes, they're not going to write a check. And yes, we're not going to make the money at this moment, but that's okay because in the long term, we're going to win and well, we're going to succeed. So uh, I learned, and it took a while, Tony. This is a hard thing to do to say no when somebody, giving you a check, but that's good for the life of the business, life of the franchise family. So who are we looking for? We're looking for somebody who is coachable, somebody who can actually follow our lead. When we talk to franchisees, we tell them you're welcome to to make mistakes. You're welcome to, make decisions that you like. But part of what franchisor is giving to the franchisees is not what to do, but what not to do. Because trust me, I made so many mistakes in my life as a business
Mm-hmm.
owner and as the bookkeeping company owner. So now I can tell my franchisees, hey, we've done that and it wasn't successful. Some of them are trying to prove me wrong and I'm letting them. I'm not saying, hey, you cannot do it. And some things are working because it might not work 10 years ago, but it's working now. But some are
Yeah.
still not working, and I'm like, okay, fine, try whatever you like, but don't invest a lot of money and a lot of resources into that. Try a little bit, see if it's working. If it does, double down. If it's not, leave and do something else.
Okay. Very good. So great information Great answer. Culture is very important. But how do you know someone's a culture fit or not?
Well, just um, seeing how they act during the discovery day or meet the team day, another name for it. Also, how they act during the executive call with me. My sales team is pretty good about poking from different angles to see where they are. When we have meet the team day, it's always fun. We are poking fun at each other, and it's a good fun. But some
Mhm.
members of my team have been with me for over 10 years, so we really having a great time, and we can see how people react. If they're uptight and like, well, I don't know, I mean, I'm not comfortable, when because they see my employees just making fun of me. I mean, so here is the story that it's famous at bookkeeping. We have an office in Philippines, and so I try to go there once a year for Christmas party. So somewhere there is a video of me doing "Material Girl" by Madonna karaoke, and I haven't seen it. There is a bounty on it, I guess. But everybody in the company has seen it, and everybody just ha ha ha. We've seen your video. I don't remember because let's say alcohol might been involved, maybe not, I wouldn't remember. But my point is, Tony, that we had a great time. Okay. And I want
Mhm.
our employees to see me who I really am, not just CEO who's just sitting there and talking about the business. I mean, I took them out. We didn't talk about business at all. We had a great time, whether we're going bowling or we're going to karaoke, but we're having fun. I'm being myself. I'm open. All of my employees, all of my franchisees have access to my cell phone. I mean, they have my number. So if there is a question, they can text me. There are some things that I'm not the one to be asked. I mean, I have team members for that, but they
Sure,
now know
sure.
what to ask from me, what to ask from my director of operations, for example.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick break and I want to talk a little bit about networking. So we'll be right back with my guest, Max
Are you a
Emma.
franchisor grappling with how to stimulate your franchisees' growth and revenue? Are the phrases, "I'm not comfortable networking," "I'm an introvert"? Enter Tony Harris Taylor, your answer to these challenges. With her expert guidance and program, you can empower your franchisees to conquer networking and community outreach. Tony's program is designed to equip your franchisees with the skills and confidence to show up to the right events with the right people. It goes beyond making connections. It's about nurturing and leveraging these relationships. It's about following up, collaborating, and generating leads and referrals to maximize conversions. And ultimately, increased revenue for your franchisees and for you, the franchisor. Are you ready to unlock this potential? Reach out to us at 832-479-2088. Let's embark on this journey of growth and success together.
All right, we are back with my guest, Max Emma. Let's talk a little bit about networking. So, as you can see at the bottom of my background here, it says show up, be up, follow up to blow up. That is the recipe that I teach franchisees to be able to grow their business. How do you teach your franchisees to show up?
Well, I can tell you, Tony, that networking is huge in our training. So first of all, training as it is huge at bookkeeping. So we have this 3-6-9-12 model. Uh, we provide 3 months of accounting training, which is done by an outside accounting school, 6 months of no minimum royalties, 9 months of sales training with the live sales coach, and 12 months of executive coaching. So my co-founder is a PhD, and she does training for companies like PepsiCo and other companies. And all bookkeeping employees and bookkeeping franchisees have this training for 1 year at no additional charge. Just the value of this training is actually more than the franchise fee that our franchisees are paying. But part of the initial training, which takes 2 weeks, we are talking about networking. I built bookkeeping on networking by joining a local networking group in San Diego when bookkeeping started out of the garage while we were running another business, which we later sold and made money. Uh, we actually I built it in this networking group, and now this group has probably 700-800 members in San Diego, and I lead one of the groups. To be honest with you, I'm not getting uh, clients from it at this point. Now it's time for me to give back. Okay, I'm not getting paid, so I'm leading the group. I got a lot of friendships out of it. I got a lot of cool people I met throughout the country because of the group. But I teaching my franchisees just be there and be persistent. It's not about, in my opinion, not only showing up, but be consistent. Okay, because you show up one time, people not gonna know who you are. They gonna test you. They're gonna see, well, is this guy or girl gonna come back, or are they gonna just show up one time? I can tell you, when we started doing bookkeeping for franchises, we show up for the first IFA expo, I got 0 clients. And usually what happens, people try it for 1 year and it's expensive to have an exhibit there, and they leave. So I said,
Correct.
no, I believe in it, I'm gonna go again. And I went second year and we got several, and then more and more, and then people came and we have not uh, we have not missed a single year except the COVID year. I didn't go and do virtual because I wanted to do in person. But starting 2017, we haven't missed a single IFA. So we've done 7 at this point. Okay. So networking is absolutely important, but you have to do it right. Okay. You have to
Correct.
be strategic about it. You have to be
Correct.
there. And I believe you have to refer business first. Okay. Once you start,
Correct.
everybody's going to say, who the hell is this Max guy? We want to meet with him. Oh, he does bookkeeping. Wonderful. Let's talk about it. But that's how they got my name. It's not just, by the name Bookskeeping. There were other bookkeepers in the region, but it's just being there, being in the moment, and keep showing up.
Keep showing up. Give before you receive, which is the hardest thing to get franchisees, any entrepreneurs to get. You are there to help somebody else. Part of our networking, Max, and I think you would agree with me, is to have people to connect with your network. It's not just about what you can receive. And so you and I, we're speaking the same language. It's a skill as well. It's a learned skill. And like any skill, it has to be practiced to be perfected. So awesome. I love it. Tell me about the biggest drastic step you've ever taken in life or business.
Well, I mean, there were quite a few of them, but the first that comes to mind is immigrating to the United States from the former Soviet Union over 32 years ago. I remember that was time when internet did not exist, and phone calls from US to back home was almost $3 a minute. Okay, and my first job, I was bussing the tables long, but nevertheless, that was my first job. So I was making 425 an hour. So after all the taxes and stuff, that's pretty much you work an hour, you talk to your friends for 1 minute. So I was goodbye to my childhood. I was saying goodbye to my friends, and I was going to unknown future. Yes, I immigrated with my family. Yes, my older brother already was in the U.S., so I wasn't alone. But at the moment, I saw that this is the end of everything I knew, and I have to start from scratch, including learning the English. And that was the first challenge. I had to come up with my own know-how how to learn English because just going to college, which I did, and getting a job wasn't enough because I wouldn't be able to get a job. So what I actually did, too bad I cannot do it anymore. Back then, uh, all the support centers, all the call centers were in the United States. So I would call a credit card company and talk to them for about 45 minutes why I cannot get a credit card. And it was a conversation on the phone without seeing them. Then obviously I couldn't get it because I didn't have a credit history at the time, but I didn't care. I kept asking, we kept talking. Then finally, when they were done with me, I would call another credit card. And I would do 3 hours a day of calling and bugging these people. And that's how I got my English to the level I wasn't afraid to pick up the phone. And I just started talking. It literally happened overnight. So now you cannot do it because now you're getting outsourced to a different country. So you're probably not going to get a perfect English. But nevertheless, it worked for me at the time.
Wow. Well, yeah, that is very drastic. Yeah, and you just reminded me of something. Long distance. We used to have to pay for long distance. And now the internet is here. But you perfected your English by calling call centers. That's
Yes.
something. That is drastic. So, by definition, if I had a badge that said I'm a drastic stepper, I'd give it to you, Max
Thank you,
Emma.
Tony. I appreciate it.
Well, tell everybody how to reach out to you.
So you can find me on LinkedIn under Max Emma, or you can find bookskeepingfranchise.com or bookskeeping.com. We are the only bookkeeping franchise in the United States, which is really easy. If you Google bookkeeping franchise, you'll get to us whether you want it or not. There are, of course, some that are providing tax and bookkeeping services, but bookkeeping is a true bookkeeping franchise. We only do bookkeeping, and we're not going to be doing taxes because we get a lot of referrals from CPAs, and I would prefer for us to play in our own sandbox.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And if you're interested in buying a franchise with BooXkeeping, please reach out to me, as I am a franchise consultant and they are in my portfolio. Well, thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us your story and your journey. It truly is a drastic one. So I'm going to knight you a drastic stepper. We will be right back after my final thoughts.
If you think franchising isn't for you, think again. Here's how Multicultural Franchise Connectors is changing the game. At Multicultural Franchise Connectors, we believe in the power of diversity to transform the franchising industry. Our mission? To empower underserved multicultural communities with the knowledge, resources, and connections they need to confidently explore franchising opportunities. Did you know that less than 15% of franchisees are minority-owned? But we're not stopping there. MFC's 4 paths guide successful business owners in franchising their operations, help potential franchisees interested in purchasing franchise businesses, support business owners to supply their services to franchises, or assist individuals to secure employment opportunities within franchise corporate offices. MFC is designed to break down barriers and open doors. Through comprehensive workshops, mentorship programs, networking events, and expert consultations, we're paving pathways to economic empowerment and community growth. And come 2027, we'll be offering grants to help you secure the financial support you need. Join us today and become part of a thriving multicultural franchise community. Visit multiculturalfranchise.org for more information. Empower your future. Empower your community. Together, we're making franchising dreams a reality.
Wow, what a great conversation with Max, someone who immigrated to the US, became a supplier, saw the opportunity, and then became a franchisor. Wow. And what are our excuses? Yeah. And you know what he said? The foundation to all of that was networking. Networking works, y'all, but it's a skill that you have to develop. It's a muscle you have to grow. And all of a sudden, the faucet turns on. If you are interested in picking up a BooXkeeping franchise or any other franchise for that matter, go get my ebook, drasticfranchise.com, and join our community at school.com/MFC. Join our community. We are starting to put more content in there to educate multicultural communities about franchising. And I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can learn how they can, one, become a franchisor, just like Max did, buy a franchise, not just any franchise, but a companion to what they're already doing already. And number three, supplying their services to franchises, as the commercial just said. So franchising is thebomb.com, and you need to be a part of what we have going on. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And I'll see you next week. Bye.